Welcome to Cut the Ish, Real Talk Sports, where we strip away the fluff and get straight to the heart of the game. From the hottest plays on the court to the controversies off it. We're breaking it all down with unfiltered takes and raw honesty. No sugarcoating, no holding back. Just real talk for real fans. Let's get into it.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Keisha with Cut the Ish Real Talk Sports. Welcome in the building. Y'all know the drill. Hit the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. I'm up here with Duvall. We got some early people in the chat. Couple of people talking about we on CP time, Duvall.
Shit, you know how it is. They'll be all right. If they give AOC grace, they can give us grace.
And I'm reading the chat because it's at the beginning of the show. So I looked up, let me say hey to Terry Jackson, Donna C, MSL 5253, ADP, always in the building, DJ Rod. Hey man, thank y'all for being in the building early. Big girl, what's up, big girl? I see you. What's up, Troy Hall? Hey. We up here to cause confusion again, as my boy K-Sap like to say. Hopefully it won't be too much, because you know we get cussed out by the chat, we get cussed out on Twitter. But hey, that's
don't do that. Don't do that. You gotta say hey to your mama. You know I love your mama.
Hey, Jemima, how you doing, girl?
I love your mama.
Jemima, hit the like button. Missed you, girl. Missed you. Hey. I've been trying to keep Duvall, in check without you for a little while, Jemima, and it's been hard. So I'm glad you back. I'm glad you are back. Hey, Duvall, we going heavy, hard, or messy? Which one you want first?
Give it the heavy, because you know what I'm saying. First of all, I need to tell Janet Jackson to shut the fuck up forever, because
What you say?
Because they keep her and her family keep arguing about the Michael Jackson documentary, and and once I watched that Jackson 5, you know what I'm saying, on ABC, was a bit NBC back in the day, and the American Dream, I ain't looking at all them motherfuckers the same, so all of them can shut the fuck up forever. Michael dead.
She say she don't want the documentary to come out. God damn it! But
Michael dead. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear for none of them.
But we want to know what happened, though. So,
Yeah, they tripping.
I understand. They a family. They tired of it. I get it.
But she ain't in here. She in Europe from where? Eating scones and biscuit with no salt.
She hanging out with her baby. You know her baby daddy crossed that.
I know. She got $5 billion from her, too, did she?
Somewhere around up in there, she got to bring that baby. When that man say bring that baby across that water, she got to bring that baby across that water, Duvall.
For $5 billion, man, I bring my ass across the water. I don't give a damn. That mother, she don't got work for none day in her life.
So that's why she crossed that water, but she's still over here, answering emails and doing podcasts, wherever.
All that.
Just like we doing it. And she said she don't want that documentary out about Michael Jackson. She tired of y'all messing with her brother. Let her brother rest in goddamn peace. So, Janet, stay up, baby. Keep your head up, baby.
Well, Michael Jackson ain't let Sony rest in peace when he bought that catalog, when he bought Beatles catalog for $64 million, and he had Sony all in Tissy, and you know what I'm saying, Sony and Michael Jackson was co-partners. That's why they put all them scandals out on them, try to get from under that deal.
All I'm going to tell you is this. Let me tell you this. You ready? Not too much on Janet Jackson. Janet's show was one of the best show I ever seen. That woman can perform, especially back in the day. So not too much on Janet Jackson now, though. Not too much. If she mad about the biopic and she don't want the biopic to come out,
Well, I'm gonna say this one last thing before we move on. I ain't never liked Janet anyway. I always liked the Penny from Good Times.
You know what? You was a silly man. Do you know that she was this?
I like Penny for good time when she got burnt from the iron and Fiona wanted to whoop everybody's ass. I love Penny.
I think every black mama wanted to beat that woman's ass on that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we was like, now, why is she burning that beautiful baby like that? Yeah. Anyway,
You know,
anyway,
Fiona had them curls in her head from the curl iron. You know, she knew what time it is.
yeah. Janet said she don't like that biopic. I mean, she was one of the ones closest to Michael, so I mean, she get a say. Just and and she know the rest of. See, she got that money over there. She think the rest of them just want to continue making money. See, she coming from a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you don't understand, Duval. She coming from a different angle. The rest of them ain't making the money or receiving the money she receiving. But I get it. I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I guess we're gonna get the heavy out the way. That's what Duval say we should do. So we
Yeah.
can have a teaser into all the discourse that's going on after. So I guess we'll talk about Rickea. That's the heavy stuff, y'all.
Mm.
They got some updates
Mm-hmm.
on what's going on with Rickea. I mean, it keeps on going, the ball. I thought at one point it was gonna die down, but the more we learn, the more it gets scared. But at least Rickea got her
Restraining
restraining
order.
order. So hold on, let me bring that up. 1 second. Here we go. I just want to let y'all know that Rickea has been granted a temporary restraining order against James Pearce Jr., telling the court she feared for her life and that without the order, James will kill me. A hearing for a permanent injunction is scheduled for next month. Pearce Jr. cannot be within 500 feet of her home or 100 feet of her vehicle at any time. Pearce Jr. was also ordered to surrender any firearms and ammunition to the nearest police department. Devon, I'm glad they granted the temporary restraining order. I've always said that in these type of cases, yeah, they're gonna grant it. Will that keep him away from her? It's just a piece of paper that you can throw at that man, and tell
Yeah.
him, look, there's a paper. But I'm glad she went through the steps to get the restraining order done, so at least people around her can report him if he ever comes in contact with her. I would say again, she needs to stay around people that can protect her in this time, because you know how you are when you're upset about it. Anger can make you do some crazy stuff. So until all this stuff die down, I just need her to stay around people, stay around her family, stay around people that are protect her. So, what you think?
First and foremost, I'm gonna find the tweet, but it was also a tweet that said that he wanted to pay her like millions of dollars to still like be around her and like date her and stuff like that. That's just like,
What?
yeah, I'm gonna get the tweet for you, but that's
Oh,
like
that's weird.
that's desperation to the highest level. It's like, man,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? But what you want, and a dollar sign that you could put in front of what you really desire.
Mhm.
That first and foremost. But secondly, if I'm Rickea, I sit down with Angel, and I ain't mean to bring Angel involved with this, but she need to ask her where her security at. Like, what kind of security company that she should use for herself. Because that now, it gets to a point where, like, the LA Sparks need to hire her security.
Mhm. Mhm.
Or she need to get her own security. But either way, she needs security around her. And I'm talking about 24 hours a day, 7 days a week security. Where that woman could feel peace at mind. Because say she in her house by herself, and anytime she hear any type of noise, she jumping. She, looking around because, say she got that PTSD from this situation, this trauma that she had to live with for now, for in the future, if not for the rest of her life. And so she needs security. If she could, one, she need to learn how to use self-defense. And I mean, get a gun and know how to, defend yourself in a situation like that if you have to defend yourself.
Right, correct.
But secondly, she need to get professional security.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, Angel might be somebody that could really point her in the right direction when it comes to security, people that saying you can trust. Because like I said, just because you want security, that don't mean all security people are good people. Some security people could be bought for the right price.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if he's somebody, and I looked up his contract. He making 16 million over the course of 4 years.
Okay.
So if he got 16 million and say he get access to her security, not say get access to the security, but he find out who her security company is running through, and he shoot them a few dollars, they might look the other way.
Mm.
And so that's why I say, get somebody that's already in a situation similar to that, and maybe she could point you out to the right security, and that way you'll have a security company that you can feel comfortable with. Because at the end of the day, it's just like it could be OJ. Shout out, and I don't know the shout out the chat because we in the show, but ADP, you're right. Ray Carew. That could be a
Mm-hmm.
situation. It's like we have many situations where men just
Mm-hmm.
went over the edge and they just
Mm-hmm.
couldn't control themselves. And they made decisions that that they couldn't
Mm-hmm.
take back once it was done. And so it's just
Right.
like, so that's why you always should take this serious. And that's why I'm always infatuated with all the updates, because I always want to know what steps is she taking to really put herself at peace, because she might not never be at peace despite whatever message that she take when it comes to her protection.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And you know another thing we're gonna talk about too that we hadn't really touched on, but it is a pivotal side of this story because I remember you saying multiple times that the NFL fell Rickea, the Falcons organization fell Rickea because they get updates on whether their players are arrested or part of some kind of domestic dispute or something like that. And I thought it was very interesting what this guy had to say about this situation. Hold on, let me make it bigger. So hold on, I'll make this bigger. It says the Falcons have been pretty quiet regarding the news of James Pearce Jr. Today it was announced the former first round pick would not face a charge of aggravated battery on law enforcement. So what that means, y'all, before I play the video, is that they dropped the charge against him of being accused of aggravated battery on the police officer. So they didn't drop that charge, but not the domestic violence charges, right? Not
Yeah.
that part.
No,
Just
no.
the violence toward the police officer. They said the body cam failed, right?
Yes, like it didn't show enough evidence, but the four charges in domestic violence hasn't been it hasn't been it hasn't been
Dropped.
dropped. Yeah, so those are still active, and Rickea Jackson still have her lawyer involved when it comes to how she wants to be represented in this situation, including her testifying.
Mhm. So I'm gonna let you listen to this video. I want you to let me know what you think after, because I'm interested in hear what you got to say. Hold on.
Do you think James Pearce Jr. plays another down for this team?
Normally, I would not. There's a suspension coming from the league, but I think the team has knowledge that we did not have. I had it from another team that they have problems at Tennessee. That these two individuals had domestic issues in college, and the teams knew about it. Problem was there was no public record of it because they were in Knox County, and if stuff happened, it probably didn't go anywhere. When he was dropped, we were getting ready for the draft, and he started dropping. We were like, wait a minute, this guy's got 40-something pressures, and everybody needs a pass rush. Why is he dropping? So it was something out there, and the smoke was the relationship that they had. And now, as they moved away from campus and are in the public eye, and that continues, you have the situation where you're at now.
You do think that he does play for the Falcons again this season at some point?
Yeah, I do. I think he'll get suspended, and they'll use that time to try to get him rehabilitated.
Let me know your thoughts.
I'm not surprised. I told y'all this.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great player. He got 10.5 sacks as a rookie. They don't want to throw that away. They don't have to throw that away.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why this is what they try to do. And I'm talking the Falcons and James Pearce Jr. He want to settle this case quick, fast, in a hurry. Because if the moment he settles this case, the moment this case get concluded, the NFL gonna drop their suspension immediately. And so he want to get his suspension dropped immediately so he could get his 11, 12, if not a year suspension over with. Because the worst case scenario for James Pearce Jr. is this. If this case go into the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have to put him on the commissioner exempt list, which is a paid suspension. And he got to stay on that exempt list until the case is concluded. So if he's on the commissioner exempt list for a year, because the case didn't go to trial till like February of 2027, after that case concluded, then they could drop the suspension. So he could be eventually suspended for like almost 2 years. If you think online, I'm gonna throw you another name that you forgot about, who went through the similar situation. Don't say him. You supposed to say who?
Oh,
Shit. You messing it up.
I thought you was just gonna say
Nah,
it.
I gave you that dramatic pause like TV.
You trying to dramatic pause. Go ahead.
Can I interest you in Deshaun Watson?
Okay, yeah, I
Remember
remember.
Deshaun Watson had them cases. Because they wasn't settled, he had a paid suspension for the year. As soon as those cases got settled in February of that year, he had his 11-game suspension. So Deshaun Watson was basically out of the league for a year and a half. Almost a year and 2/3. James Pearce going down the same path. That's why they trying to settle this quick, fast, in a hurry. But if I'm Rickea, I ain't selling shit. Then you finna do this trial. So you get this paid suspension and you gonna get this unpaid suspension. You gonna learn not to mess with women and learn how to, go and get help and seek help so you can be a better person, a better man. A lot of times these people want to use their money to get out of trouble quick. Nah, we finna make you burn slow and fast and steady.
But you know how it is though. That money he got, he can use all that money to keep this. But yeah, I'm with you. He gonna want this to get over quickly. But the Falcons have been very, very quiet.
They've been very quiet because, like I said again, what they hoping for. This is what they hoping for. They hoping, and I'm finna send you what I'm talking about in the chat. Not in the chat, I'm talking about in the Instagram. So you put it up on the screen. What they hoping for is this. They hoping for it to get settled quick, fast, and hurry too, so they could get the suspension announced, and then they could, hopefully this dies down, and so when they bring them back without any fanfare, without any noise, and then he just resume his career. That's how they want. This is how they want it to be done. And so at the end of the day, they want to, quietly to go away too. But no. He need to be punished, real punishment. So no, Rickea don't allow them to settle this case. Make them go to trial. Make him have to go to court. So that way he have to get that suspension during the season and then get another suspension after this case has concluded.
You want this up?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. That's in the ESPN article. You read it off, Keisha?
Okay. WNBA's Rickea Jackson tells the court she believes James Pearce Jr. will kill her without their intervention. Tells story of Pearce put a bag over her head and how he offered her $75,000 to come visit and $200,000 to not break up with him. Lord have mercy.
That's deranged, man. People think their money could buy everything. You can't buy love, man.
Lord have mercy. That's crazy.
Now you could buy conditional love, but you can't buy unconditional love, genuine love. And so yeah, that money was probably good to Rickea at the beginning because, like I said, you get again, especially when you're in college or whatever not. When somebody offer you something different that maybe didn't have previously, you could get fascinated with that initially. But then as time goes on, even the money can't cover up somebody's bad behavior. And even then she had to be like, you know what? I want to be better than this situation.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
better
so
run.
proud of her for wanting that.
Yes.
Because there are women that will put up with that just for the money. Clearly,
Right.
she's not one of those women. Clearly, she have enough respect and love for herself that she want better for herself. She want better for her mental health. She don't want to, in a situation, not to go to the extreme, but say, I'm talking about bringing like, pregnancy of children and stuff like that. She don't want to have a child with somebody that had this type of behavior that could bring this type of behavior around her child, her future child. She clearly want a better man in her child life if she was to go that route with a spouse of hers. You see what I'm saying? And so it's just like,
And if you trying to pay somebody to come visit you, sir, that is a reason why you need to go work on why people don't want to be around you, sir, without you paying them money. So
I'm telling you, and that could be 75,000 per visit. So imagine how much money that adds up to. And just like I'm so proud of her for wanting better for herself because there's a
Me
lot of
too.
women that would be allured with the. You know what? Let's have a conversation.
Be enticed by
No.
money.
Let's have a conversation. I'm for the bring this outside of sports. Let's have a conversation.
But
Can I interest you in Young Miami?
can I
Young,
interest you in? I don't follow Young Miami, but go ahead.
Young Miami was getting $250,000 a month for Diddy to get to be a porta party and among other things to Diddy. But the lifestyle was there, the money was there, so she didn't care. I think it's women like that, Miami, that will take the money, look the other way, even if the evidence is in front of her, just because the lifestyle is there. They said, what's the girl name? Cassie did the same thing.
For a while, yeah.
Took the money, looked the other way from the physical, verbal abuse, and all the stuff that he put her through and stuff like that for years. And so it's just like, you just don't know what people would do for dollars. And I'm glad Rickea had enough love for herself and say, nah, this is enough.
But you don't understand how much danger in this situation and some of these other situations too. When somebody is violent, you just don't know. You just don't know what kind of life and death situation you putting yourself in, regardless of the money.
Yes.
Because some people are crazy. Now, some people, and this right here is getting crazier by every other report. But at some point, this young man has to come to grips with, because my mama told me something real profound when I was coming up. If two people are together and all they get is toxicity, that you just not meant to be together, sir. Sir, it's time to move on, sir. It's time to move on. Stop reaching out to this young lady. Take some counsel from somebody. And if you find yourself still picking up the phone after all this that went on, Duvall, after all of this, and you still find yourself picking up the phone trying to call this young lady, you need to reach out and get some real help. Because it's one thing to have an incident in the heat of the moment. You know what I'm saying? People get angry. We all, my mama said, we all one action away from going to jail or dead. My mama used to tell me, because you make a quick decision and make the wrong decision and you're out of there. Sir, in this case, you had that decision and now it done disrupted your life. Leave this young lady alone. It's obvious that y'all not supposed to be. Leave this young lady alone before you end up losing more than money.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
See, what people don't understand, I'm going to bring back the Diddy example one more time before we move on from the Diddy part.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, yeah, you can make an excuse saying, okay, Cassie was young. He groomed her. Cool. Well, how about Kim Porter? Kim Porter was just as old as he was. He was paying her to beat her behind and everything else too for years. Why he was dealing with Cassie and J-Lo and everybody else. So what I'm saying is this. A lot of these women take the money to massage their pain from what they're dealing with a spouse that clearly don't belong to them and don't belong in their presence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad in her case, she said, forget the money, forget the lifestyle. Allow me to value my health, mental health I'm talking about, first, before I don't live long enough to even enjoy whatever money he wants to give me.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the day, I'm glad she valued her self-help. I hope she has a strong inner circle around her.
Me too.
I hope she does. And whatever security company that I hope somebody provides for her. Because I hope the WNBA provided for her. I hope the LA Sports provided for her. But I hope they provide her a security service where it's a credible company where, like, some security companies, you get former police officers.
Yeah.
And for people to think, oh, you can't get security company bought off, tell that Suge Knight.
I know, huh?
Suge Knight bought off dirty cops in LA. Look it up.
He did.
Like I said, if your money long enough and you're desperate enough, there's a price for a lot of these people who supposed to be doing their job, especially serving the community like police officers, to turn the blind eye for the dollar. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said, hey, talk to somebody like an Angel who has a legitimate security guard. See, they got another person that could accommodate you, Rickea, that you think has some type of integrity and will value your life more than they value a dollar. Because a lot of these people be having bills and stuff like that, and it will take $1 to get out of their own situation. Even that means turn the blind eye to somebody that don't deserve to be harmed. That's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah, I look, let me tell you something. Rickea, as I say every time we end this topic, Rickea, stay safe. Say prayer. We praying for you, girl. We hoping because you're too young to even be dealing with all this, to be honest with you. You're supposed to be living your best life in your 20s and you're going through some heavy stuff. But we all, the Lord always puts stuff on us that we can handle. And you just got to handle your business and make sure you know how to handle a firearm, make sure you know how to handle yourself and take care of yourself and make sure the circle that is around you is truly for you. Because it's getting real out here in these streets. So, yeah.
And
I'm
before you
praying.
move
And
on,
I'm also praying for Mr. James Pearce Jr. I'm praying that he get himself together too.
and before we move on, I'm going to say this one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
Rickea, you need to go where Kathy's at. And you need to tell Kathy, after them negotiations, get me security. Get me WNBA league-wide security before I sue y'all too. Because now y'all know what I'm dealing with. It's public now.
You
And
suing
it's up, huh?
Rickea suing everybody, huh?
Hey, because at the end of the day, they all felt her. From the NFL, from the Atlanta Falcons, from him. And the WNBA, now you know this is public. You need to give her security. That's on them. And don't charge her out of her paycheck to get her security. Y'all need to provide her security outside of her paycheck. Because now y'all know her life is on the line. And if y'all just do not step in and do the right thing and put her in a position where she can feel safe, you too can be valuable. You too can be liable because y'all are a corporation at the end of the day. And the corporation is supposed to protect their employees. Is on correct? So
I
yes, ain't nobody's just suing everybody, but she need to sue the right people who is in positions to help her and they not helping her. Yes, they need to be sued. Because sometimes you got to take money from a person's pocket for them to get the message. People don't like losing money.
I'm with you. Let me tell you something. Lord, these young people. Boy, that's all I got to tell y'all, Chad. Rickea, get your mind right, baby. Just, let's go on be single for a while. Sow your royals. Anyway.
Got it.
Right. Look, anyway, hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. We're going to get to the next topic. My next topic is going to be a quick topic. Before we get to the meat and potatoes, I do need to know, Duval, why people still hanging outside of New York trying to see if we going to get a deal done? I ain't got time to be standing out there every day trying to figure out if they going to get a deal done or not. It's getting 4 days in now for this for the CBA deal. What's going on, man? All I know is they did raise the salary cap for year one. They raised it to year one increase from 5.75 million to 6.2 million. Average salary year one increased from 530,000 to 570. Will go up to 850 by 2031. Max salary greater than 1.3 million in year one, increasing to 2 million over the life of the deal. That was the last proposal that I guess the reporters got outside the building because apparently they still in there. And a little birdie told me they saw Nafisa Kaya pulling up to negotiations. I don't know if she the closer or not, but what you make of all this? Why we been 4 days? What the 10th was? What was that, Tuesday?
Yeah, go to Instagram.
The 10th was Tuesday, and we still don't have a deal.
Yeah, go to Instagram and read the statement from Terry Jackson, who's the WNBPA spokesman.
Terry Jackson.
It's the third to the last tweet.
Okay.
No, second to the last tweet. Second to the last week. I'm finna see your tweet.
You mean Terry? Oh, okay. All I saw was Karen.
Yeah. And then after that,
Michael. Hold on.
And then I sent you another tweet after that. Then read and then show that, and then I could give my thoughts on this.
I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. Terry Carmichael Jackson just spoke with reporters on site. That was at 6:56 p.m. She said movement is still the word on day 4 of these marathon CBA negotiations. I think the league, and particularly the commissioner and her team, have heard that transformational remains the goal. Okay.
And then you got some stuff underneath it. Right there.
Right here?
Yes.
Said a salary system tied to revenue in a meaningful way remains a top priority. On how far apart they are on revenue share still, the continued conversations have helped us chip away at what the concerns are for both sides and how we will meet them, how we address them.
And then I sent you one more tweet with in your Instagram. It's the last one. And
it's
then
like,
I give my thoughts or whatever.
It's like, what the hell? Just, I guess they gonna go to the last drop chat. This negotiation is real funny to me. Update live from day 4 of the marathon CBA negotiations. WNBPA Vice President Nafisa Kaya arrived on site willing in her suitcase and not wearing a boot.
So I guess she's healthy now.
Well, she got out the boot, that's all.
Yeah, I ain't talking about Louisiana either.
She got out the boot, that's all. So I guess they It's still been 4 days, Duval. What we
Yeah.
doing?
This is what I would say. This is the reason why, if you the WNBPA and you got 2 A-list celebrities, don't settle for nothing that's not fair. Because we come to see them. We don't come to see those teams. You know how I know that? Because I guarantee those ratings are high as hell, and we watch Olympic basketball, and we all know that's basically Oakland Gym. All those teams that they playing are sorry. But we just want to see them play. However we want to see them play, we want to see them play. So, if I'm WNBPA, yeah, I got 2 A-list celebrities that y'all know makes y'all money. And we're not playing until we get a deal that's fair to them and fair to the rest of these women in this league, so these women can feel like their hard work and sacrifice before 2024 gets paid off. And so these women can feel respected, loved, and appreciated by the same league that gave them their ass to kiss since the late 90s. And so at some point, you have to stand on business. And I'm glad that the WNBPA is standing on business and not squirming to the pressure of the WNBA and their media contingents, ESPN among others. You know what I'm saying? They will not allow those media outlets to infiltrate the players and their mindset of settling this case quickly to just play the season. No. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, Keisha. And at some point, you have to stand on business. Because you might not never have this leverage again. Because the WNBA knows that if you will give up now, when you got those 2 celebrities that people want to see, and they don't care about seeing those teams, if they know you'll give up now, if you try to renegotiate 4 years from now, you're going to give up then too. Because you already shown you're weak. So at some point, you have to show that you are strong and you willing to burn this bitch to the ground in order for these women to get something that's fair. Because what these women have to realize is, y'all ain't the only one that got something to lose. The WNBA has something to lose too. They have $500 million to lose if you want to go there, because they're not going to give Toronto and Portland their money back. So, but they will have to. Yeah, they'll have to get their money back if they don't get to play the season this year, because they gave that on the rights fees to play this season, not 2 seasons from now. Nah, so they have to get that money back. Then the networks will want some of their money back, because the networks bought the WNBA, you know what I'm saying, package based on the Clark and Angel Reese experience. And if they're not playing, what the hell we having a package for? So you'll have to reimburse them for the year that they didn't play this year. I'm talking the women. They didn't play. So you think the WNBA want to give money back?
No, they don't.
They ain't in the business of giving money back. They cheap as hell as it is.
That's why I don't know why they tripping. I don't know what's going on.
The owner was crying. The owner was crying uncle when they had to get private jets. So when they had to get private planes. So you think they want to give money back? Them owners ain't in the business of getting money back. That's why they're okay when the league was struggling, because they used that money as tax write-off, so they weren't losing no money. So of course they don't want to get that money back. So that's why both of these people are in the building eating Chipotle and Panera Bread conference food, negotiating for 16 hours without no degree on deodorant under their arms, and they probably stinking and musky with all that hot ass suits on, because they both have something to lose. But WNBA has just as much to lose as the WNBPA. Yeah. That's why they're negotiating. Because if they had nothing to lose, they'll tell WNBPA, okay, heifers, sit out.
No, they
Sit
gonna
down.
lose. They gonna lose that money they dealing with. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know why they. I don't know why they said. I don't know. I still don't understand. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't understand why the WNBA waited 6 weeks in between that players proposal that went out in November until that was silly in itself right there. So now we up against it. I'm looking at reports now that they saying that if they don't get something done here soon, they're gonna have to chuck the preseason.
So what? First of
So
all, my thing is this here. You said why did they wait 6 weeks? When the moment them women opt out, they October 25th or 24th, because them two A-list celebrities to get this renegotiated, they should have been negotiating then.
yes, why are you playing in them women's face? Did you think 6 weeks was gonna make them crack? That must be what you thought was gonna happen.
When them women came out at the All-Star game talking about pay the players with them T-shirts, back then y'all should have been negotiating.
Yes, they not
Back,
playing with y'all.
back then y'all should have been negotiating, you know what I'm saying, and having a plan together to get this done before the season had concluded. That way everything would have been right on schedule. But no, the WNBA thought they could wait these women out. And these women said, nah, we stand on business. We ain't gonna give y'all what y'all need, because what the WNBA realized, okay, don't pay us. Cool. We could do Unravel for a year. And people will come to TNT to watch Unravel. They don't care who the teams are. They care about the players. And that's what y'all need to understand. This is what y'all need to get driven in y'all heads. We care about the players. We don't care about the teams. We don't care if Angel playing for Chicago Sky or the Phoenix Mercury or the Atlanta Dream. We will watch those teams because Angel's on it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care about the teams.
That's a damn show.
We don't care about the team. That's just them Clarkies. They don't care if she's on Indiana, LA Sparks, or the Minnesota Lynx. They gonna go watch those teams because of Caitlin.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a damn what team she on. This ain't NFL. If we trade Trevor Lawrence today, I'll be mad as hell, but I'm still a Jaguar fan.
Correct. Just
I'm
like
not a Trevor
Saints
Lawrence fan.
Right. Just like I'm a Saints fan, and I don't care how many times they lose, blah, blah, blah. If you leave, you leave. You always be a Saint, but I ain't leaving my team. I got you.
When Drew Brees retired, you still followed the Saints.
Of course.
You ain't retired with Drew Brees because he gone.
No, I was with the Saints before Drew Brees, and I was with them without him. Yeah.
Yes. Now that's not saying you're not appreciative of what he done and how he helped the community to keep the team in New Orleans, because they tried to move the team to San Antonio. Let's not act like they didn't.
He's
You know
one of
what
my
I'm saying?
favorite players, always.
He helped
All
keep that
time.
team in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because they tried to low key backdoor that team in New Orleans, and the bad thing that happened, y'all, the worst thing that happened, y'all, was Katrina.
Right. And don't
Because-
get it twisted. Yes, we like you saying, yes, you're gonna have team loyalty. But every now and again a player comes that transcends, and you're gonna always follow that team. Always follow the team, but you're gonna follow that player too, but not at the expense of the team. No.
My thing is, and this for the people that really don't understand what I'm saying. It don't matter what their reason is, why they like Caitlyn, if they have a personal agenda or not, which I'm gonna touch on. They still follow her.
Whatever it is, they follow them.
They follow her. They ain't following the fever. I promise you that.
No.
If she leave the fever tomorrow, all them people that follow the fever will not follow the fever anymore. They will not care about Lil Boston anymore. They will not care about Kessler Mills anymore. They will not care about Stephanie White anymore.
No.
They there for Caitlyn.
Mm-hmm.
They're not there for the rest of the team. Y'all got to really come to grips with that. I'm sorry. Whatever their agenda is.
The WNBA need to come to grips with that.
And that's true.
Because we understand it. I don't know if they understand it.
I'm telling you. I remember, I could bring this back. I'm going to bring this back to football. This is where football team loyalty matters more than anything. It's not lot like the NBA and the WNBA when it's player loyalty. Team loyalty mattered more than anything. When they traded Keaton McCardell, my sister cried like a baby. But she was still a Jaguar fan after that.
Yeah.
And she was a Keaton McCardell groupie. And I don't mean to put my sister out there like that, but she was a Keaton McCardell groupie. She cried like a baby when they traded Keaton McCardell. But she still was a Jaguar fan after that. She ain't become a Bucks fan because Keaton McCardell was on the Bucks. She ain't become a Charger fan because Keaton McCardell was on the Chargers. She ain't become a Washington Redskin fan because Keaton McCardell played for the Redskins before he retired. She was still a Jacksonville Jaguar fan because the team, the NFL sells team loyalty. It sells hometown team and be loyal to your city. The NBA don't sell that. They ain't sell that since 84. They ain't sell that since the Magic, Bird, and Jordan days.
Right.
David Stern, when he took over as commissioner in 1984, his sole mission was to sell the players.
Yes.
The WNBA is no different.
That's the model they under.
They no different. They
I
care.
agree.
They care about the players. So like I said again, wherever team Paige goes to, if it is San Francisco, you know what I'm saying, Valkyries, if it is, you know what I'm saying, the new Portland team, if it is, you know what I'm saying, Seattle Storm, those fans gonna go over there. The UConn fans gonna go where she goes.
Yes.
They're not staying in Dallas, even though she's no longer there. They gonna desert Dallas. They gonna abandon Dallas, and they gonna go where she goes. This is a players' league. So guess what? Even without the WNBA, if those players playing on rival, whatever team those players on, they gonna support those teams. If Angel's no longer on the Rose, we gonna say fuck the Rose. We gonna be Breeze fans or Miss fans or whatever team she get on. That's just what it is. We here for Angel. We ain't here for the teams. Whatever team she on, we on. If she become a Sephora refs, we gonna support the refs. She put the stripes on, we gonna be pro refs. Shit.
They gonna put the stripes on.
We gonna support Foot Locker. If she put on the stripes, we gonna support Foot Locker. We gonna be big Foot Locker fans. Shit.
That goes to, look. At the end of the day, we know this. We see the mania. We see the Clarkies be losing their mind. We see them out there doing their thing. We see the Reese's Pieces, love Angel. We see Paige over there pimping people, got her fans. You know, we see these fans. You ain't got to convince us in the chat. You need to convince the WNBA because they seem to think they got some. They seem to think they act like they gonna make it. If they don't make this deal, they got to make this deal. They've already took this money. They've already started the process of expanding and all this, that, and another. And all this is dependent upon the players. And if you don't have them on the court and people start asking for their money back, then you didn't put the cart before the horse, like my mama was saying. You took the big money and you got these women sitting there waiting 6-7 weeks while you ignore their proposal and don't send a counter proposal and messing with. And then you tried to put out that March 10th was the drop dead date to try to make these women, I don't know, somehow
take a bad deal.
Take a bad deal. That tactic didn't work. Then the other tactic was you leak Stewie and
Sabrina? Kelsey Plum, Puerto Rican.
Plum letter, and Stewie talked about that, and she said that letter was never supposed to be leaked. She was just trying to get clarification on where they was and all that stuff. She's still trying to figure out who leaked the letter. You know who leaked the letter. It wasn't the WNBPA. That made them look bad. It was somebody else on the other side doing some kind of mold stuff. You doing all these underhanded tactics, and at the end of the day, WNBA, y'all need them ladies.
Because Kelsey Plum said this: if y'all don't settle this and do us right, I will go back to the homeland, Puerto Rico.
She can go play for Team Puerto Rico.
She said she'll go back to the homeland.
Look, we already seen the African nations. They looking kind of bad. They take some of.
Now, what they do? That Senegal team looking at Kiki sideways, like you don't supposed to be over there.
I think Kiki is Nigerian, right? But
Yeah.
I know a couple of people looking at Kiki like, come on, man, this ain't fair, man. Come on, man.
NECA one of them, cause say they wouldn't let NECA on the USA team.
No, NECA tried multiple times. They kept denying her. She wanted to play for, I think, Nigeria, and they said no. So at the end of the day, look, 20%. You over here still talking about under 15%. You gonna get pimp slapped with some baby powder. Them ladies ain't taking that.
So this what's happening, and this what need to be happening, and this is what people don't understand. This is where the big dogs come in at. Who's the biggest TV network in sports?
You know who it is. It's the worldwide leader, ESPN.
No.
Who is it then?
NBC.
Oh, I thought you were
NBC.
talking about sports.
No, NBC is sports.
Yeah, but they do other things. I thought you were just talking about like a
No,
sport.
if you talk sports only, yes, it's ESPN.
Yeah,
But no,
I was just talking about a
NBC.
sports channel.
I'm talking NBC is the biggest sports, biggest network when it comes to, prestige, legacy, and everything else. Out of all of them out there, that's why they get the number one game on football. That's why they getting the number one game in basketball. That's why they got the Olympics. Nobody else can get the Olympics. You know how expensive the Olympics are. And so when I'm mentioning all this I'm mentioning all that to say this. You think NBC is happy with playing those promos with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark on the cover? You know what I'm saying? And ain't no games. And this will be the first year that NBC get to showcase WNBA basketball games. You think they want to do all of that promotion for them to not have games? NBC will always have something to say. NBC will always be the biggest voice in the room when it comes to sports because of their prestige, among other things. So don't think NBC is not jacking Kathy Engelberg by the collar and saying, "Where's my money?"
Well, again,
and stop playing with me.
Again, I have to ask this question. I've asked this question from you before. If all this is going on, why are we here?
Because they playing chicken. That's what it's coming down to. Two sides are playing chicken. And they saying who's going to jump off the bridge first. Because again, and just what you got to understand, if the WNBA had the leverage like they think they did, they would just say strike. We'll walk away from negotiations. But they came to the table. Why? Because they know they got something to lose too. It's not just the WNBPA got something to lose. If anything, they have a lot less to lose if they really realize it than the WNBA. Because like I said, they got another league they could go to. They got another network that would really be willing to fund them. They could play for a year. And make whatever money that they'll lose in the WNBA, they could make it an rival. And have it 5-on-5. And will win these negotiations. But they got to be willing to take it there. And that's why Fee dragged her broke foot ass to that meeting. Because she knows she had that leverage. She knows she had that trump card. So that's why she is in them rooms so she can let it be known that we would not settle for less. Get this shit done and treat us right. You ain't going to give us 30, but you got to at least give us 20.
Something.
Yeah. You got to at least give us 20.
I don't know. And they got people camped out in front of the building live, just waiting on them fools to come out. And I say, call me when they come out, because this is ridiculous.
Like it's Groundhog Day.
Right. But
Nah.
we gonna move on. I do have a joke for you though.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're gonna move on to our recent Clark toxicity um topic. Hit the like button yet. Y'all hit the like button. I do have a joke for the little icebreaker going into our last and final topic. Are you able to read? You got your glasses on?
You know, I don't got cataracts yet, but I can read small.
Oh, okay. You read that then. You read it out loud.
I know they said, I know Puerto Rico, baby. Puerto Rico.
They said Kelsey Plum got some nerve smiling after doing our home country like that.
Yeah.
They need to stop.
Yeah, we know she in Puerto Rico.
That woman said she's not Puerto Rican.
She Puerto Rican. She got ears like Puerto Rican. Look at them ears. Them Puerto Rican ears. No, ain't white people ears. No, what Puerto Rican.
They've been messing with Kelsey Plum all up and down this timeline today. Anyway, chat. On to the next thing. Well, last night, the ball. Speaking of Team USA. Speaking of, that's why I say we'll talk about the sweet stuff, and then we'll the funny stuff, and then we'll get to the discourse. Team USA looked clunky last night. They did, but they won 91-48. However, Kara Lawson looked like she was, and we talked about this during the game. Looked like she was tinkering with lineups and switching out people, change the starting lineup. You know, just trying to figure out what's going on and trying to see who can play with who. I didn't too particularly agree with some of the lineups. I know you didn't either. But she, as a coach, has a right to tinker with the lineups to see what works and don't work. And as she was tinkering with the lineups, there's some discourse that went on with Angel, as they always are.
Yeah.
not had nothing to do with her. What she was is not her fault. For some reason, they just love messing with my Angel. But I am going to bring up the first thing that happened. And I didn't see this at the time. I kind of saw it at the time, Devon. But people making a big deal out of it. I didn't make a big deal of it. I saw it, but then I didn't see it. Does that make sense? But
I seen it.
You seen it? I saw it, but I ain't make no big deal. There's no big deal. She didn't see it. She didn't see it. But here we go.
A great D by Puerto Rico.
40 players, check in 14.
You polyjet string cheese heifer. You sperm my goat. You sperm my goat.
She might have didn't see it, Devon.
She better have ADHD. She better have, I'll tell you, she better be on the spectrum. You sperm my goat for no reason. I'll pull your ass by your hair. Hell wrong with you? Nah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Now, you know what? See, Ryan Howard, she did the right thing, because I would toast some shit up. You know what I'm saying? You see how Ryan Howard, she said, I got you, Angel. I ain't going to leave your head out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she just forgot that they was dapping each other up. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, Devon.
Because, Angel will body slam her ass. Angel strong. She ain't strong. She's strong. Strong. You know what I'm saying? Will body slam the shit out of her ass. You got like effed up, Caitlin. You got like effed up, Caitlin. Now, I ain't trying to crash shot, and I ain't trying to get all these jokes. But I get triggered every time I watch this.
You get triggered?
Yeah, I get triggered.
Don't get triggered. I'm just, maybe she just was trying to get focused in the game and.
Cause she should have Chun-Li her ass, got right by her hair and just yanked that back. Heifer, you seen me.
So you of the belief that she saw?
Now I don't think she saw it for real. But you still don't do no shit like that. You make sure you look around. If you think Angel on the court, you look around. You make sure you get that 5. Then you go on about your business. But I think in all seriousness, she was in the zone. You know how you be in the zone trying to get yourself ready to go? Mm-hmm. And so you just see what's in front of you and then you just turn around.
Okay.
But I don't think that was it.
You don't think it was,
Nah.
Oh, no.
But Angel, you still should kick her ass with your Reebok shoe. Because let's be honest, if that was the other way around, well, you know the talking points will be.
Oh, it'd be on ESPN.
Mm-hmm. You know the talking points will be.
Nah. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the next clip that you just want to show one more thing. Now they claim it out here in Twitter land that Angel was ignoring what should I find?
No, you had it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh no.
The longer version. No, the longer version. Go back.
Go back?
Yeah, go back to where you were. Go back to where you were. Go back where you were. Right there. Yeah, that's the longer version.
All right, chat. 24
now,
seconds.
Yeah.
And let me make it. Let's play it. All right. Okay.
She tried to steal a rebound. Caitlin did.
Oh, they trying to say Angel freezing out Caitlin, huh?
Mm-hmm. Have her run your ass down the court.
Why is she running so slow? And we supposed to be pushing the praise. She ran into Angel.
I thought Chelsea Gray the only one that run like she got hemorrhoids in her.
I thought we was pushing the pace. I thought Caitlin is known for pushing the pace. Why is she slowly waiting for the ball?
First of all, why Caitlin running like she got New Balance on? Get your ass up the court. You better run like you got on some Nikes. Why she running like she got on New Balance? Like she working out in the morning at the hotel.
Yeah, she can't play without the ball in her hands.
Nah, really. She's James Harden.
Because she was gonna get the ball was gonna come back to her.
Mm-hmm.
She
Angel
ran into Caitlin.
Yeah, that play right there, Angel, like, get your ass out the way. You disrupt the traffic. And De'Erica, stop acting like you got 2 kids. Run your ass down the court.
Yeah, if she would have ran a little bit more, yeah. But I just thought they was pushing it. I thought at that particular moment, Puerto Rico, like we talked about yesterday, Puerto Rico was a very disciplined and they executed well. They just don't have the talent. And they was pushing the pace. And I thought we was trying to match their energy. But I guess because if you look at some of these clips, everybody not running. Angel running.
Nah. Pause this right here. Because I'm finna get on somebody's ass.
Hold on, let me pause it. Where you
Pause it. You can pause it anytime. Pause it.
Okay.
De'Erica, I'm gonna get on your ass. You better stop running like you're a soccer mom. You get your ass down the court, and I've been bragging about you the best fast break big woman in the WNBA. Because I want to say it right. I don't want to say big man. I want to say big woman. You the best running the flow big woman in the W. Mm-hmm. And your ass running like you got, you know what I'm saying, 2 hot dogs and you don't want to drop it. Get your ass down the court and hold that hand in the air like you ran the mouse. God damn it. Shit. Don't be doing that shit, De'Erica. We see how fast you run the kind of court when you on LA Sports.
De'Erica side just came off on Rob. I'm tired, boss.
You better drink some Gatorade or I'm going to put Ray Burrell in there. She ain't get no burn yet. I don't like that, De'Erica. Run your ass down the court and start jogging. And then you want to knock people down. Especially when your whole family was there. They say her whole family was there. The kid, her child, De'Erica family.
Oh yeah, she always had the babies with her.
Yeah.
Nah. We gonna keep it moving along, but what's with this graphic right here? Why is this circulating, Deval? It says CC didn't have a great game last night. Honestly, I don't care if she goes scoreless as long as she's doing a solid job passing and being a playmaker. Watch it, Angel trying to play that role, grab the rebound, get it to your guard, and get down court. What's all this? Where you get this from, Deval?
I'm gonna say this. I don't understand why they feel like Caitlyn is the only person that get to touch the ball. I don't get that. As if they don't have other ball handlers on the team. As if Paige Becker's not a point guard on her team. As if Angel is not a point forward on her team. As if Jackie Young don't do the ball handling on her team at times. As
Yes,
if
you do.
not Jackie Young, but Chelsea Gray is not the primary point guard on her team.
As
As
if
if
Kelsey Plum is not.
the
She
point
handles the ball
guard,
too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, why does they have this discord? Like, Caitlin Clark is the only person that get to have the ball.
But
Yes,
hold
she
on,
is.
Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Deval.
Yes.
The rest of them ladies you just mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
they can play off the ball though, too.
Yeah. But that
Clarkies.
ain't their fault. That's our fault.
Clarkies, why do y'all feel like if she don't have the ball, she can't be effective? Keep cooking.
Well, the Clark need to tell Caitlin, just like they tried to tell Angel after her rookie year. We gonna tell Caitlin after her sophomore year. Stop running behind your boyfriend, going to Butler games, and going to Nick games, being the special edition commentator, and
Uh-huh.
stop going to play golf and get in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot a mid range. She never shoot those.
No.
She'll shoot a three, but never shoot no mid range. Wonder why. And
Mm.
learn how to go left. She never look on left. They say Angel can lay up with either hand. She shown that. But Caitlin can't go left. So maybe she need to focus on basketball. That's what they told Angel after her rookie season?
They did. They said she needs to stop doing all that other stuff and focus on basketball. Well,
Can we tell Caitlin that?
we can. Yeah, let's focus because everybody on that team is giving up something. On everybody that's playing on Team USA, Deval, has to give up a little bit of what they do on their regular teams to be a part of this team. You got to be versatile. And I'm not saying that Caitlin can't run the offense. Please, chat, don't take because I think she's a great passer. I've
Oh, yeah.
said that. I think she's a great passer. Don't get me wrong. But you got to be able to do multiple things. And you can't. And I think, to be honest with you, I think Caitlin knows this. But standing there just waiting for the ball and we on a fast break is kind of, I don't know what to say about that. But
But I think the problem with Caitlin is she's so used to running her offense throughout her whole career. From high school
okay.
all the way through the W.
Muscle memory. Uh-huh.
And so that's the only way they know that she know how to play. But she need to learn a new way how to play. Just like she need to learn how to play defense and stop acting like she get lost, like she playing hide go seek on defense. Please find your man, Caitlin. This is where the evolution of Caitlin Gay need to go to if she really want to ever become a best player on a championship team. She has to evolve. She has to evolve her game from being what she is now to a better version of herself so she could become the player that they need for her to win a championship. So, anyway.
I, 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 mm.
So you said, but you go ask about discourse, right?
Mm-hmm. Hold on a second. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Let me go back to my treasure trove of tweets. What you want to listen to next?
I'm gonna follow you. Whatever you go, I'm going.
All right. Now hold on. I did want to because Trendy was very I like Trendy. Trendy back, Duvall.
Oh
Trendy back.
yeah,
They try to take a soldier down,
yeah,
Duvall. They try to take a soldier down,
yeah.
but Trendy back. Trendy back.
You remember that movie
Anyway,
called Too Deep? You ever watch that movie Too Deep with Tyrese and Megan Good?
I watched it.
Remember when Tyrese jumped in that water and they thought he was dead and he ended up coming to Mexico? That was trendy.
That was Trendy.
They thought he was dead and ended up popping back to life.
Trendy said, I ain't did nothing. I don't know what's wrong with these people. But anyway, Trendy said, you would think star players representing Team USA would bring fans together around a common goal of supporting the team and winning games. But anyone looking at the situation logically could see that was never going to happen. After the opening game, a wave of fans immediately began comparing Caitlin Clark's stats to those of Paige Becker's and Angel Reese. The argument started instantly. Clark had more points than them combined. She outperformed them. The game proved, quote unquote, who the better player or the better point guard was. Think pieces followed as if a definitive conclusion had been reached. And again, this was after one game against Senegal, not France, not Spain, not Belgium, but Senegal. You would assume the common objective is simple: win the game. No. Fast forward to the next matchup against a slightly tougher opponent. Puerto Rico and Caitlin Clark had what could fairly be called an off performance: 8 points, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, and 33/20 shooting splits. Those numbers were a drop from the previous game where she recorded 17 points and 12 assists, again against Senegal.
Before you keep reading,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna explain the 33-20 splits. That's 33% from the field, 20% from three. So they'll know.
Damn. Okay. Anyway, you should have left it out. Anyway,
I got you.
Meanwhile, Beckers and Reese finished as the two most productive players for Team USA. And right on cue, the think pieces flooded the timeline. Now the narrative shifted. Players are jealous. They won't pass the ball. They're trying to get their own shine. But if we're talking about Angel Reese, the attention was coming regardless, which we all agree. She's one of the rare players who receives both extremes. She will be celebrated even when her stat lines are modest because her fan base hasn't formed a purely transactional relationship with her success. At the same time, every low-light clip spreads just as fast. Those low-light clips routinely collect thousands of likes. As for Paige Beckers, a performance like this was always coming. Nothing looked forced in her game, and many seem to forget she missed the entire first quarter of the opening matchup. Had she played those minutes, her stat line in that first game could have looked much closer to this one. But instead of the conversation being Team USA won and different players contributed, this discussion immediately turned into conspiracy theories and speculation, largely because Beckers and Reese, particularly Reese, played well. Lost in the noise were the basic facts. Reese shot 60% from the field. Beckers shot 58%. Clark shot 33%, despite taking only one more shot than in the previous game, and finished with more turnovers than made baskets. So the patterns become clear. Those players will be criticized if they're viewed as being outperformed, and they will also be criticized when they outperform. Some of it may come with having a passionate fan base. The belief among many supporters is that Caitlin Clark is the best thing the sport has ever seen. That level of praise creates enormous pressure, especially when those expectations were established before her career had fully unfolded. It leads people to assume Clark must be the primary contributor every single game. But basketball simply doesn't work that way, and you rarely see this type of discourse elsewhere. He goes in to talk about Malonga had 21 points in her first game. Meanwhile, her teammate Layla Lacan had 7 points in the first game and 16 in the second. You don't hear the French fans turning into a debate about jealousy, hierarchy, or who was trying to take over from whom. You won't see them arguing that Malonga outperformed Layla Lacan in game one, or that Lacan was trying to outshine Malonga in game two. They simply see it for what it is. Different players contributing on different nights to help their team win. Which brings us back to the real question. If every performance immediately turns into comparison, a rivalry, or a theory about teammates working against each other, is that truly the discourse that grows the game? Or is it simply noise that distracts from the game itself? Will this ever end, Devon?
No. And I'm going to tell you why it would never end. I would get some of these jokes off, but I'm going to have a serious conversation with the audience. Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to take Paige out of it, because Paige don't matter in this situation. It's Caitlin Angel.
Yeah, she caught strays for no reason.
She got strays, but her strays is being caught because they think Angel. No. Listen, Keisha. God damn it, listen.
What?
God damn it, listen.
You want to go through the degree? I don't.
I'm gonna tell you why she getting caught these strays. The same way Kiki got caught her strays. They think that Angel fans are pushing Paige Beckers to compete with Kate. That's why she catches the strays. The same way we thought.
I disagree slightly, but go ahead.
The same way we thought that the Clarkies were pushing Kiki to compare with Angel. When we know that mama, and she told her to go silly ass in the room. Well, anyway, but this won't never end.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Before I cook.
They was already gonna be on Page either way and went because she aligned with black women. Keep going.
Oh, yeah, I don't disagree with that. You can add that too. I don't disagree with that. Not at all. But I'm gonna tell you what this reminds you of. Do y'all watch the female rap game? It's a woman named Nicki. It's a woman named Nicki Minaj, and another woman named Cardi B. Two big dogs on top. Reason why Nicki will always hate Cardi B. Well, Nicki fans will always hate Cardi fans and Cardi B itself, because they truly believe that Cardi B is the reason why Nicki decline from the rap industry has happened since 2017. They always believe that Cardi got praise, appreciation, flowers from the GOATs of the game, like the Missy Elliotts of the world and all them people, among Grammys and many other accolades that Nicki never got. They felt like the industry pushed Cardi to turn against Nicki, not turn against Nicki, but push Cardi to spite Nicki. So Nicki would never forgive her. Fans would never forgive that. So even Cardi was to come and apologize and say, Nicki, please forgive me. Nicki fans would still tell Cardi to suck a D, because they will always associate Cardi with the decline of Nicki's popularity as a female rapper. Even somebody like Megan Thee Stallion, who Nicki fans also hate, which is Paige Beckers in this case. But if Megan was to jump on the sword and apologize to Nicki, they will forgive her. Because
what they apologizing for? Just so I know.
They ain't apologize for shit. None of them got nothing to apologize about.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering.
But if they want to apologize, if they want to, what you call it, a copper plea, if they want to copacetic, they want to humble themselves to align themselves with Nicki, her fans will forgive her, Megan. Even if Cardi would try to do that, they will never forgive Cardi. Because Cardi represents something that's bigger than the rap game. Cardi represents a stoppage in Nicki's progress in getting all the flowers that she felt like she deserved. So y'all say, why I'm mentioning Nicki and Cardi with Caitlin Angel? I'm going to tell you why. And I thought about this all day today. Caitlin fans truly felt like, even though she lost the final game twice in college, right? In their mind, they felt like that first team that lost to LSU was the better team of the two teams that Caitlin played on. In their heart of hearts, they knew they supposed to lost that game to South Carolina the second year. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They knew that team was the better team. They truly felt like in their mind that our team that played LSU was the better team. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they in their mind,
in their mind, they felt like that.
Mm-hmm.
So not only they lost to that team by 30, so that was an upset itself. But that black girl who played against Caitlin all her life, once again got one upper hand on her and threw it in her goddamn face that you got stopped by me again. They would never forgive that.
Mm.
They would never, ever forgive that. Because Angels is not a competitive rivalry with Caitlin when it comes to team accolades or even playing career. She's a representation of stopping what they felt like belonged to Caitlin, which was a championship that she would never receive in that college moment. Now, would it ease somewhat if she was to ever win a WNBA championship? Maybe. But until that happens, and if that happens, they will always hold what happened in that college game against Angel. And she would never escape that. That's why they prey on her downfall. That's why they make fun of her lowlights, her worst moments, to constantly bully, harass, and humble Angel every chance they get. Even if it costs Angel to, let's just say, unalive herself, it wouldn't matter. Because those racist SOBs, including Dave Portnoy, felt like Angel took something that belongs to their great white hope, the person that made them feel good. And they would never forget that. You know how I know they'll never forget that? Let me mention another person. Can I interest you in Jasmine Crockett? How come Jasmine Crockett losing in Texas to Talafaro for nationwide news? I never seen a Senate race became nationwide news when somebody lose.
Right.
But I know why it became nationwide news with Jasmine Crockett. Because Jasmine Crockett was the only African American woman that scared the shit out of Donald Trump. See, let me tell you something. If you want to go to the political world, and I ain't going to spend too much time on the political world because everybody ain't political, but between Jasmine Crockett and Kamala Harris is what they got, Problem Child. You ever seen the movie Problem Child? Kamala Harris is Problem Child. Jasmine Crockett is Freddy Cougar.
You're so crazy.
I'm being honest. Donald Trump did not fear Kamala Harris. Not for a little bit. Jasmine Crockett kept him asleep at night. Kept him up at night. She has a power with her fan base that Kamala Harris never has. And that scares the mess out of MAGA. So they had to get her out the way by suppressing all votes in Texas. If you live in Texas, you know what I'm talking about. They made a lot of those Democratic stations, Republican stations, so the Democrat couldn't vote there, and made them drive 2-3 hours to other voting stations to try to vote. And by the time they drive 2-3 hours to try to vote, they shut the voting polls down. They suppressed those votes so Jasmine Crockett could lose. They had a smear campaign that was going on, and there ain't no secret in Texas. Is that correct, Lakeisha? So, but they had to get Jasmine Crockett out of the way because she was too much of a threat. That's why to bring it back to Nikki. That's why to bring it back to Caitlin and Angel. The reason why they bring up her lowlights every chance they get, not only because they're racist, misogynists, and SOBs and POS. You know what I mean when I'm saying all this. But Angel will always be a threat to them. Because it wasn't just, Angel just had that one moment. And it stopped there. If Angel would have had a career of Aaliyah Edwards, Angel would be irrelevant right now. It'll just be all about celebrating Caitlin and what she brought from the college game and how she revitalized the WNBA by herself, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But nah, Angel is great too. Best rebounder to ever do it. One of the best 3 defenders in basketball. And is an offensive player when need to be. So she also a great player. So you never can mention Caitlin without also mentioning Angel. And they mad about that. Because they thought Angel was going to be chlamydia, but she ended up becoming herpes. She always going to come back. And because of that, they always going to be attached to each other. And they do not like that at all. They felt like Angel was going to be, her 15 minutes of fame going to be up. And yet, just like Caitlin going to be a Hall of Famer, Angel going to be a Hall of Famer, and Paige Becker's going to be a Hall of Famer. And they are the young guns that they always get talked about. And I'm going to tell you how much WNBA basketball means to this very day, especially with those 2 women in particular. Just on Tuesday, Lakeisha, I was, living in Jacksonville, you know what I'm saying, listening to Sports Talk Radio, 1010 XL. Don't have no WNBA basketball team, don't have nothing affiliated with the WNBA. You know they had a segment on the WNBA college basketball, WNBA basketball after the World Cup game, which was Monday, right? Or Tuesday?
Yeah. Tuesday.
Tuesday was the first game. So that game was on Wednesday. So they had this conversation on Wednesday. No, the first game was on Wednesday. That was the first game, right? Yeah, the first game was on Wednesday. They had the conversation on Thursday. So Thursday was, yeah. Okay. So you throwing me off, Kid Lakeisha. So they had this conversation on TTSL, Sports Talk Radio in Jacksonville. They don't have no WNBA team, no affiliation with WNBA.
Right.
They had a whole segment on the WNBA and the Olympic game. And the first thing they talked about was Caitlin Clark and how she did, right? You'll think it just ended there when they talked about Caitlin. No, they didn't. They also say there's another young lady that's very popular, that's a great player as well. Then they talked about Angel. And they talked about all the stuff she did that game. And then they talked about a third young popular player who also had a good game. That's when they mentioned Paige. And they didn't mention nobody else. They thought Caitlin was going to get all this praise by herself. But Angel's taking some of that praise too. And everything that Caitlin doing, Angel has done as well. Caitlin is a 2-time All-Star. Angel a 2-time All-Star. Caitlin is a current Olympian. Angel's a current Olympian. Only thing that Caitlin has done that Angel hasn't done is be on the All-WNBA team. And we know why that was. Because Caitlin's team was winning. Angel's team wasn't. And what we had learned, especially when it comes to All-WNBA defense and everything else, is a lot of those voters factor in winning record when it comes to voting for individual players. Is that correct?
Yes.
So as long as Angel be on a bad team, she's not going to get the accolades that she deserves, even though her numbers say that she should get everything that she desires. But as long as Caitlin be on a winning team, where she got 2 other Hall of Famers that's in their prime, and 1 Hall of Famer that's on decline in Tasha Howard, she would get her accolades. Even if she don't deserve them. Because she's on a winning program. But that's what the game is. So it will never end, Lakeisha. I ain't mean to bring this long way, but I had to explain to the audience where we coming from when it comes to the situation. But it will never end because Angel just not just a basketball rivalry, Caitlin. She's a race rivalry to Caitlin. They use those 2 women to battle supremacy between the 2 races. White supremacy and black power. And those 2 is in the WNBA, they will always be used as that to fight for who is the more superior race. At least in the Caitlin Clark's mind, that's how they felt. And that's how they always feel. And that's why they attack Angel with the way they attack her, not only from a basketball standpoint, but from a racial standpoint. And this is the last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to get out the way.
Okay.
If Angel Reese, take Angel Reese off the cover. Just use Angel Reese 2 years of her career. And she had those same 2 years. And instead of it being Angel Reese, it's, let's just say, Monique Billings. Do you know the FIBA fans would be saying, what can we do to get Monique Billings on the FIBA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If they had, you take Angel career, take Angel name off of it, and make that Monique Billings the same career, best rebounder ever do it, top 3 best defender in basketball, all the stuff I just named, player of the week, player of the month, all that stuff that she won, Caitlin won, Angel won. Take Angel name off of it, Monique Billings. Do you know those same FIBA fans would talk about what can we do to get Monique Billings on the FIBA?
Yeah.
But because it's Angel, they would rather burn the team down than allow Angel to be on that FIBA team. Because they would not let that woman be any part of their success. Even though if you had Angel on that team, not only they'll be WNBA contenders, they'll be the favorites. But their success has to be separate from each other because they want Caitlin to get all the credit. And that's all I got to say.
They do. I do have some break. Look, even if she was on the team with her, they will be fighting against themselves because they will want Angel to be a solid player and not get any praise, and all of it has to go to Caitlin. That's just the way the Clarkies roll. I got some breaking news. They getting on Caitlin Clark's coach.
Stephanie White.
Stephanie White had some comments, and I'm gonna play it for y'all because I'm listening to it in real time. But you know, the Clarkies are already talking about, you know, everybody trying to sabotage whoever they trying to sabotage. You know how they do. So let's listen to what Stephanie White had to say and make our own determination.
You're well aware that all of our fans here have been dying to see Caitlin Clark back on a floor, back on the court behind me. How would you evaluate how she's played so far and the ability to get to coach her here?
I thought she's been great. You know, I think she really set the tone with her facilitating in game one. I mean, she's one of the greatest passers that the game has ever seen. And, you know, now she's got so many weapons, you know, on the floor and finding her way and, you know, seeing what each player, what their strengths are, how to put them in positions to be successful. I thought she shot the ball well in game one. I didn't feel like she rushed. You know, I was concerned about her having some nerves. It had been a minute since she'd been on the floor. And I thought she was really good. I thought she was good on the defensive end of the floor as well. You know, game two was a little bit different in the way that Puerto Rico came out with their pressure and being a little bit more disruptive. And we've got to be able to play different styles. She's going to have to be able to see different things. And at the same time, I think she showed why she's elite. And she adjusts. She played with great pace. I thought she looked really good. You know, playing a back-to-back after she had been off for so long, it's hard to simulate like real live in-game adrenaline, pace, rhythm, timing. And I thought that her work that she's done this offseason showed.
If you notice, she kept mentioning game one.
Yeah, but one thing you could piece out of this too, Duval, is this. This is what the Clarkies have a problem with. She said she's got to be able to play different styles.
Yes.
Well, yes, she mentioned game one, and she did good game one, but then game two was different for her, and she's got to be able to play different styles, and she's got to figure all that out, especially on the back-to-back after being off for so long. They don't want her to get any critique. So what they're saying about Stephanie White is, yeah, they trying to make her do what Stephanie White was trying to make her do during the season, which is play off the ball. And I don't think that's what Team USA was trying to do yesterday, to be honest with you. I just think the lineups were different and things were clunky.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. But anyway.
Let's be honest. And I'm going to touch on Stephen White for a second, and I'm going to bring up another factor that we did not bring up about this situation. Stephen White, you know the FIBA fans were mad at Stephen Knight before the All-Star.
They can't stand her.
But they were mad at her before the All-Star game last year. When I think they played against the Liberty, the Clarkie, not the Clarkie, but the Fevers played against the Liberty. Mm-hmm. Remember when she said, Caitlin Clark is a generational player, but there's two more generational players too. She mentioned Angel, she mentioned Paige. You see what I'm saying? You see how you see how Caitlin can't never escape her? And that's what they mad about. Mm-hmm. You think they was happy with Stephen White mentioning Angel as a generational player along with Caitlin and Paige? No, they don't want that. They just want Caitlin to be mentioned as a generational player. Which brings up the bigger picture, reason why I think Clark can be acting the way they be acting.
Why?
Because they want nothing to be their fault. Because like I said again, we already know they mentioned Kayla as the Great White Hope. They mentioned her as this player that's supposed to be the best of all time. So if this player is the best of all time, how can we blame her for any shortcomings? And if we blame her for any shortcomings, then that means we have to reevaluate how good we think Caitlin is, and they don't want to do that. That's why I mentioned what I mentioned yesterday on the live with Boss Man, because it reminded me of LeBron James. Mm-hmm. LeBron James, until this year, anytime he came up short, any shortcoming, it was never his fault. It was they had a bad roster in Cleveland, even though he had other All-Stars on that team too. Or it was Chris Bosh's fault when he was in Miami. And D-Wade got old. You know D-Wade was playing at a high level as well. Or it was Kyrie Irving's fault. Kevin Love, he playing opposition, keep getting hurt. Oh, it was Westbrook's fault in L.A. It was your young player's fault. That's why you got to trade him. AD, it's his fault. He's soft. He don't like to play through injury. You see how that's a thing? And I'm not including the coaches when you talk about, oh, that David Black fault, you got to fire him. Oh, Tyrone Lue fault, you got to fire him. Oh, it's Frank Vogel fault, you got to fire him. It's Darvin Ham fault, you got to fire him. You see what I'm saying? Eric Spoelstra fired. Oh, it's Eric Spoelstra's fault. He tried to fire Eric Spoelstra, but Pat Riley told him to suck a dick. But it's always everybody else's fault. LeBron Sessions would not blame LeBron James. You know why they would never blame LeBron James? Because if you put any type of flaw on LeBron James, then he could no longer be in the GOAT conversation with Michael Jordan. And LeBron Sessions would love being in that GOAT conversation because they want to convince themselves, based on LeBron James' compiler of stats, that he's the greatest of all time. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with Caitlin. And that's why I mentioned LeBron. Because Caitlin fans the same way. If they have to accept the fact that Caitlin has flaws in her game and she need to work on her game, then she's not this great white hope that they built her out to be. So, of course, they will blame everybody else because they don't want to come to the grips of the fact that this woman is not as good as the mythical, figure that they made her to be to the audience.
Yeah.
That's a fact. They made Caitlin Clark be this greatest basketball player to ever live.
Yeah, they did.
Even though she only played 2 seasons.
I know.
And so they have to have this defense mechanism of, if she come out short at any point in time, it's everybody else's fault except for hers. Mm-hmm. It's Christy Sai's fault. At one point, it was Aaliyah's fault before Aaliyah shouted for social media. Then Kelsey Pitcher bought her Rickea. Then they wanted her traded. Mm-hmm. Then it became Stephanie White's fault, even though they wanted Stephanie White.
Yeah, they begged for Stephanie White.
They bad for her. Caitlin bad for her. But When Stephanie White wanted to change her game and make her play ball off the ball, it was Stephanie White fault too. Or it was Stephanie White intentionally sabotaging Caitlin so she could play the point guard that she wanted to play, which was Eric Madonna and Odyssey Sims.
Yeah. How about this, Devon?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get to the stats?
Go ahead.
Can we talk real numbers? Because
Yes.
Caitlin Clark then played 37 minutes in 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Angel has only played 33.
Yep.
We're gonna start there. Monique Billings has played 40.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey Plum has played the most. She's played 42. Ryan Howard has played 40 minutes. So even though Caitlin hasn't started in these first 2 games, she's playing significant minutes on this team. All right, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
While Ray Burrell, who should just chuck it up in the 4th quarter.
I told you.
She plays the 4th, the whole 4th. So that's why she got 20 minutes.
I'll tell you.
Right.
If I'm Ray Burrell, I'll be telling Stephanie White and Kara Dawson, I ain't taking this shit no more. You better put me in before the 4.
I'm gonna tell you this now. We gonna look. We just gonna compare the point guards on this team right now.
Mm-hmm.
This point right here, because it's hard to compare Caitlin to Angel. They play 2 different positions. I've been saying that for years. Paige Becker's played 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey Plum played 42. She's considered a point guard, combo guard, whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Caitlin played 37. Jackie Young only played 30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Paige, 10 of 19, 53% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
And she played the least
Mm-hmm.
out of the guards that are in that combo spot.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey Plum is 6 of 15.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then what's this other girl? Jackie Young. She's only played 30 minutes, but she's 7 to 8. 88%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I heard a lot of people running around there. Jackie Young don't do nothing. All she can do is play defense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Caitlin is 6 of 11 for 55%. She had a great first game. In the second game, it caught up to her. So that's how that is. Meanwhile, the bigs, De'Erica played 34. She's 5 of 8. Angel played 33. She's 5 of 9. And Monique Billings played 40 minutes. She's 7 of 13. So Kiki played 31 minutes. She haven't missed a shot. So all the bigs are doing their thing. Free throws, 3-point attempts. Even Paige, the midi queen, is taking 3. She 3 of 8, 38%.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea Gray, we ain't gonna even talk about Chelsea Gray. She Cadillacing through this. Moving on.
Yeah.
Caitlin is 50% from 3-point line, because you remember in the first game she hit like 4 or 5, and then in the second game she was like 1 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to the rebound. Angel Reese, of course, she leading that category. I mean, she got 21 in 2 games, so that's just classic Angel Reese. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Caitlin Clark. She's got 14 assists. She's leading that stat. Now her and Angel, where they are twinning at, Duval. Mm-hmm. Angel got 5 turnovers and Caitlin got 6.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when you look at these stats, who has been the best player on the floor?
I would say Paige. I think Paige been the most consistent.
That's what I'm reading this for.
But
meanwhile, they worried about Angel taking her spot.
because they feel like Angel is doing things that they feel like Caitlyn should be doing. But like I said, at the end of the day, the reason why they get annoyed by Paige, but they're not threatened by Paige. Because
They should be, though.
They should be. But they look at Paige as like an Angel Reese fan base creation. They don't come to the grips that Paige is the better player. But they look at Paige as like an Angel Reese fan base creation. Like we just propping Paige up to go against Caitlyn.
Yeah,
the same way
we part of propaganda.
Yeah. The same way we said about Kiki. Even now, what's the guy named EJ? Remember the EJ Angel Reese hater? Always kept living off the Olympic teams and all that, right?
Right.
You know, today he got a new Olympic team lined up. I'm gonna send that to you so you can post it.
Now Kiki, she hasn't missed a shot, but for some reason she missed her free throws though.
But she'll be all right.
She'll be all right. She's a young player.
Yeah.
But Jackie Young, I saw people talking about Jackie Young, and I was like, really? Jackie Young just trying not to get hurt, baby. Now I don't know what Chelsea Gray is doing because her straight stat line right now is 1 of 5 for 20% from the field, and she got 2 assists no, she got 6 assists in 2 games. So you told me that she was Cadillacing. Don't worry about Chelsea Gray.
Yeah, she Cadillac.
You told me she was on PTO. With God. So I ain't gonna get on Grandma Gray. She says she chilling right now. She ain't trying to overexert herself.
Yeah, she on that PTO. She should have stayed home with Nola.
She's just out there just to make sure the kids don't be at the bar in Puerto Rico. That's what she out there for.
I just sent it to your Instagram, so it should be up now.
But yeah, I was like, yeah, y'all focus on the wrong person because they play 2 different positions.
And he's a national scout and a WBB.
Oh, EJ?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me take this out. Okay, hold on. Let me take this out and put up old EJ with his little special set.
I think he's a pro Caitlin Clark person. So,
what he say when he predicted the Team USA? He said Nafisa Kaya, Asia Wilson, Stewie, Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, Sabrina Ionescu, Jackie, Ryan, Angel Reese, and Kelsey Plum.
now look at them comments.
Okay. How do I do? Hit the view coach? Yeah.
No, you only have to hit view codes.
Oh, okay. Well, what
go straight to go down.
Okay. Juju and another post.
Go
yeah, I don't know what that is. And maybe so should though she would be just finished her college. Aaliyah Bossa undeniable. I think Kiki Airfan is making her case well right now. Lauren Betts, Kiki Airfan, Aaliyah Bossa, AB is absolute. Where's your guard defense coming from? It just can't be Jackie. That is true. It's certainly not Paige, CC, nor Sabrina. At least 2 of them need to go. Chelsea Gray and Alicia Gray, or maybe Sonia. Replace Sonia at and Veronica. She keeps up. Oh yeah, I don't know. Would you trade Angel for A Boston? People forget about also AB is a great playmaker for her size. Okay. What the hell is this? Okay.
You see what I'm talking about? You see how they crash it out because of Reese on there? You see how they use a Kiki as a shield and a Leah Boston as a shield to go against Angel?
And he got 2 more spots. Who else? Lord Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. These people crazy.
All these comments about Reese.
Leah Boston over Angel. Otherwise, let's watch the other games. Last night was hard to watch. How was it hard to watch when your favorite was playing?
All these, you see how Reese dominate the comments? You see how Reese dominate the comments? Cause it ain't about basketball, man. That's what I'm telling y'all. You see how all I'm saying, remove Reese. Like I said, if Reese had a resume and there was anybody else's name, they would be celebrating her. But they can't give her credit. See? This is a Reese-dominated comment section. Why? Because just like them MAGA fans, they use Aaliyah Boston and Kiki to be the shield to push out Angel Reese. Just like they feel like they're accusing us of using Paige as a shield to push out Caitlyn. So two fan bases accusing each other for the bullshit.
But one fan base is it's delusion, and the other one actually based on basketball.
Of course, 100%.
Like,
but they don't see it like that.
You know, when you lose, you don't see it that way. I mean, you know, because if anybody that plays basketball can see that Paige can play basketball. You got to be stuck on stupid if you haven't figured that out by now. If you want to keep being delusional, you go right ahead. I mean, they got a lot of delulu people in the world.
But it's rage baiting, and it's like it's like we the Spider-Man meme. We both pointing at each other, thinking that we're alike when we nothing but alike. See,
I know.
Even like Angel signing autographs for, you know what I'm saying, foreign players. For, you know what I'm saying? But they'll never post that. But let that have been Caitlyn. They will post it how other teams, players want her to sign autographs for them. And that was crazy.
They just, since she showed them that ring finger.
Yeah. So discord will never end. Never.
No.
Only way it was somewhat slow down is once they both retire and they both go in the Hall of Fame. Then some of those young fans that was parents of these maggot ass people will probably have some perspective and really give Caitlyn and Angel her flowers at the same time. Their flowers at the same time. But as of right now, it's easier to hate than to appreciate.
Oh, hold on.
That's the Stewart thing.
Yeah, let's see what Stewart had to say. I ain't want to forget this. Hold on.
How big is it for you now? You the OG. So you got all these puppies coming up.
Yeah.
You know, the Angels and the Caitlyns and all the puppies coming up behind you. For you to be, you know, outspoken.
Pause it for a second.
You know, like saying, speak
Okay.
I'm going to let you keep cooking. But you see how you said Angel and Caitlyn?
Mm-hmm.
They can't escape each other. They can't escape each other, and that what made them MAGA people mad. They just want Caitlyn to be mentioned by herself.
She not going to be, unfortunately.
Well,
it's
keep
over,
cooking.
MAGA. Okay.
True. Yeah. So that they know they have the platform as well, and they can keep it going as they come up, and my daughter, the young girls come up, that now you have a voice and let's use it.
Yeah. I think just showing them, you know, leading by example, but if they have kind of questions behind closed doors, like also just kind of talking them through it. You know, Angel, you see her, she's constantly using her platform, you know, even the me bounds, the way that people were trying to bully her online for kind of getting these doubles and that type of thing. She used it to her benefit to then help people going through cyberbullying or that type of thing. So I think that, you know, the younger generation, they definitely are more aware because social media is like more present than ever, and they just need to learn to be themselves. Like I feel like when it's authentic, everybody knows that it's real.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
First of all, Stewart, why the fuck you sound like you got a stuffy nose? You need to take some vapor rub and put on your chest.
Stewart let you know where she is on this side of this Caitlyn Angel. Stewart like, look, I'm gonna talk about the cyberbullying of Angel.
Yeah, you stop talking like you got a stuffy nose, Stewart. You talking like you need some of that vapor rub, like you need some of that vapor rub put on your chest. so you can breathe.
Stewart mad right now. She said, I gotta go get my cane and, start beating people if they don't get this shit together. But at the end of the day, she like, look, I'm learning from the young pups,
I
turn
just work
stuff to
here.
positive. Yeah, they need to stop this, man. What is this one right here? What's that?
Yeah, play that one too. I forgot about that one.
Oh, okay, hold on. You be sending so much stuff,
I
you
think a good
forget what you
example of this
got.
is like Angel Reese's experience and the rebounds. She is tremendous as a rebounder, but I actually went and I crunched the numbers. And this concept in rebounds is her trying to flip the narrative on its head and empower herself and also like combat like online bullying. But like I crunched the numbers out of her like 13 or so rebounds per game, only like 1.5 of them are rebounds or self-generated off of her misses. Everyone like tries to use those types of narratives to like diminish her game, which to me is very unfair. But like, how do you get that information out there in a way that makes sense that people can understand and like come with a positive instead of like using it to, diminish? Like those are the things that like keep me up at night as an analyst. Like, how do you celebrate the game and also educate others while there's so many voices?
What Agumake doesn't realize that some people don't want to be educated. They are okay with being in their delusion.
Yes, because that's how they cope with their ultimate reality of Caitlyn just great white hope and Angel just this ant that's in the way.
Like I feel like when it's authentic.
I'm sorry.
And that's what it is. That's like at the end of the day is this. When it comes down to it is the GOATs of the game, the players that came before Angel and Caitlyn, and the coaches that watch them practice. They know who the real ball players are. They know who the real ball players are. It's the Clarkies that got the delusion.
Right.
But the people that really know the game, that really studies the game, break the game down, they keep telling y'all in these interviews that Angel's like that. They just refuse to listen.
They don't want to listen because they are bought into the narrative they sold themselves.
Yes. Because that's the only way they can support somebody for the wrong reasons.
Well, that's the only way they can justify the bullying they do.
Yes. Because if they tell themselves the truth, then what's the use of being a Caitlin Clark fan? Because they don't really like Caitlin Clark like that for basketball reasons.
No.
We know they like her for other stuff.
All of this is not about basketball. That's for goddamn sure. All of this is not about basketball. Not at all.
And so that's the only way they could justify support her for basketball reasons is to convince themselves that Angel's no good. Because if they convince themselves that Angel just as good and just as valuable to her team as Caitlyn, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, then they feel like Caitlyn's situation is diminished. It's this the best way I can describe it. It's you remember when Sega Genesis had a game system?
I remember Sega, yeah.
And then Super Nintendo had a game system. And then PlayStation had a game system. Once the other game system become valuable, the other game system get diminished.
Yeah.
It dilutes it. But it'll be like Sega Genesis convince themselves, hey, I'm just as good as PlayStation. I could play just as many. I could do just as many things on my system as PlayStation could do on their system. Because they feel like if they have to tell the truth that hey, PlayStation have a 64-bit and Sega Genesis have a 32-bit, they're not the same. And if they're not the same, then you have to convince yourself that you have to tell yourself the truth that your video system is not as valuable. So now you either got to upgrade it or you just got to accept the fact that you second fiddle. And they don't want to accept the fact with Caitlyn. They want to believe that Caitlyn is this generational Bryce Harper, Tiger Woods type of basketball player that came once in a lifetime, You know, we all know the true basketball players, the true basketball, saying aficionados know that Caitlin Clark is just another poor man's Sabrina. That's what she is. She's a poor man's Sabrina. If we're gonna be honest about that, she's a poor man's Sabrina, but a better passer. Keisha, why your ass on mute? Talking to your kids.
I'm sorry, they brought me a plate of food. I'm sorry.
Dang, but that's all she is. Caitlin Clark is a poor man's Sabrina, but a better passer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't want to admit that.
No.
They want to convince themselves that she's significantly better than Sabrina.
Thank you. Yeah, what they saying is she head and shoulders above Sabrina. That's what they're trying to say.
Mm-hmm. And so that's why this toxicity will never end.
So it ain't going in.
Because if it was to end, that means they got to end the bullying and the racism. And they got to end this delusion that this woman is this once in a lifetime player that's not exist. Mm-hmm. And they can't admit that. And I think that's the real issue. And so Angel got to keep going through it.
Hey, if we get to the end of this show, we've come to a conclusion. This was a thesis, experiment we was a part of, the ball and chat. Mm-hmm. We thought we could answer the question and solve the problem, but the answer is no matter how much we want it to be over, chat, it never will be.
Never will be.
Unfortunate. We just gotta ride this way, and we gotta support our girl. That's all we can do. Because I don't think this is going to end this discourse. I don't think this toxicity is not going to end. We had one good night, which was the first game. We had one good night before it went to shit again. Mm-hmm. And mind you, both nights these ladies won.
Yeah,
they won the game.
But that's why
matter. That don't matter.
That's why there's been a sensitivity with the Angel fan base with any criticism that she gets. Mm-hmm. Because of I know what she had to go through every day. Right. That's why I truly understand why they was upset with me yesterday with determined words that I used when I said Angel got cooked a couple of times. Mm-hmm. She, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay. And the reason why I think a lot of y'all fans need to look at that as a positive at times, because that woman who was JaVale McGee's sister, right?
Mm-hmm. JaVale McGee's sister.
She did that on Angel in 3 straight possessions. If I'm a team and I see what that girl just did on Angel, you shouldn't be picking up the phone trying to call her to put on a WNBA roster.
I think it'll elevate her status a little bit. I mean,
it should.
It remains to be seen, but I think, because she by no means did she get over on Angel the whole game or nothing like that. No. But she challenged her. That's for damn sure.
And think about this. And I'm gonna tell you why that sequence was important to that woman as a whole. And that's why a WNBA team should be calling that woman. Mm-hmm. She did something that Asia couldn't do. Brianna Stewart couldn't do it. Jacko Jones couldn't do it. Alyssa Thomas couldn't do it. Nafisa Colley damn sure couldn't do it. Angel Reese had De'Arica Hamilton under single digits multiple games. So De'Arica Hamilton looking on the bench like, damn, how she could do that on Angel? And I could barely get a shot off. You know what I'm saying? So you talking about NECA couldn't do it. I'm naming all these WNBA greats that have to play against Angel for 2 years. And they all get held to their lowest percentages and their worst percentages because that woman defends them like her life depends on it. And that foreigner, Jamel McGee's sister, did that in 3 state possessions. If I'm a WNBA team, I'll be calling that girl tomorrow, whoever her age it is. Hell, the Sky should be calling her and putting her on the roster. Because imagine you go a big lineup with Angel at the 3, Camilla at the 4, and Jamel McGee's sister at the 5, who can stretch the floor and shoot the 3. You know how much hell they'll get other teams? Because think about this. I'm going to tell you why that'll be a mismatch nightmare for teams. Angel could defend your best team's 3. Not 3, but your team small forward. She could defend her. She could defend that, whoever that person is, Kai Copper, whoever, Jackie Young, whoever, with no problem. Now that same player going to have to defend Angel on the other end.
And you know I done did some research now.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. And Monty McGee Stafford.
Yeah.
She is 31.
Doesn't matter. She can still play.
Yeah, she's 6'7", guys.
Mm-hmm.
And she did play in the W. She played for the Chicago Sky. Look at that.
In 2016, I think on Chi-Town had mentioned it yesterday.
Yeah.
But I'm saying she should play now. Even if she played before.
I'm just saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Even if she played before, that means somebody should pick her up now.
It made me go look her up. That's for sure. So, yeah.
I got a breaking news with Kathy Engelberg. So,
oh, Lord, what Kathy did now?
I'll send it to your Instagram. So she spoke. So,
did she say something meaningful, or she just talking foolishness again?
Some of everything.
You know, because I'm through with Kathy. You know, she up and then being the Mad Hatter. Okay, it says Commissioner Kathy Engelberg just spoke with the media on site, sharing that progress has been made while also emphasizing time is of the essence. She said a deal by Monday is critical in avoiding disruptions to the preseason calendar.
Well, you better come up on that percentage then.
Right. You the one holding this up, Captain.
You come out on that percentage. And it could get done.
Right.
But if not, then we're gonna buy time. That's why they're having these 13-hour negotiations, eating Panera bread and Chipotle conference food. You know what I'm saying? Like they doing jury duty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm telling y'all. I see some of y'all in the chat. Yeah, she like a Miller. That girl was like a Miller with girth and aggression.
Mm-hmm. And she got the shot from the outside. She shoot threes and everything.
Mm-hmm. She do.
So that's why I said, man, somebody should be calling her tomorrow.
She older and she been playing a while. She got a lot of experience. Yeah, man, they got talent out there in them streets.
And it don't matter about her age because Musselman was older and she played last year, right?
Oh yeah, Meeseman. Is it Meeseman or Messerman? Meeseman playing for Belgium, and I think she in the 30s, and she played for Liberty. So, you know what? The Chicago Sky got all. They need to go and find all these different avenues to get somebody to come there and play, because you know they down bad right now. So I don't know.
Yeah, but like I said, they have all, Chicago Sky had all this talent. Can't keep none of them.
Right. When I looked at that, I say, "Oh, she played for the Sky." Oh, damn.
I hope she don't got no bad feelings on the Sky.
We don't know.
But knowing our luck, I doubt it.
Yeah, we're gonna just go on, close this out. If you wishing that the Sky ain't did that late or nothing.
I got it.
Angel might tweet her, and then there you go. Have it. We're gonna have the whole thing. Sky. Oh hell no! Let me stop. I don't know, y'all. But hey, this was a good discussion. So y'all know we in this for the long haul. Long as Angel Reese play in her career, this toxicity, unfortunately, is gonna follow her until her career is over, or she slapped the hell out of Caitlyn on live TV, and
It'll get worse.
then that would officially end it because she'll be that'll be the end of her career, and they will be calling the po-pos and all kind of stuff gonna go down, you know. But the Lord don't put on you what you can't handle, Duval. So
That's what I
she
heard.
got it. Yep, she got it.
I think she can handle it because she don't regret it because they both benefit from that negativity.
They did.
And so Angel probably regretted it at first because it was hard to deal with the first deal with something like that at that magnitude. But I think by now she got a good handle on it. It's to the point where it's so much discord. Like I said, going back to the first game that they played, when Caitlyn hit her first, not shot, because she, you know what I'm talking, when she made her first points, which was a free throw shot, guess what? The first day they did, they didn't show Caitlyn on the free throw line after she made a free throw. They panned direct to Angel. After she out the free throw, they paying direct to Angel. I'm like, what do Angel got to do with her, Caitlyn Clark shooting a free throw? Kick shit on Caitlyn Clark and let her slide hands with her teammates and then get it ready for the second one. But no, they did not. They waited till she shot that first free throw. And as soon as that first free throw went in, they paying right to Angel, see if Angel clapped or what or not. See if that could be a story. So the media ain't going to let it go.
No, they're not going to let it go.
Because the media make money off of this. And so, it's all good either way.
It is what it is. Hey, y'all, hit the like button on the way out the door. We'll be back tomorrow in the Players Club. The ladies are playing. Again, I believe they playing Spain. I think that's who they playing. But we'll be back like 4 flats. For real. We in this thing. Through the end of the FIBA Cup. Y'all pull up and have a good time. And I'm pretty sure something gonna happen over the weekend, so we'll keep y'all abreast of it. Anything else, Duval?
No, I'm tired.
Me too. I need to eat my dinner. It's 9:57, Duval.
Yeah.
All
Your
right,
time.
y'all hit the like button. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank you, Duval, for being on my panel.
Yeah.
And we are out, players.
Peace.
Peace.